Hey, Dan here, and if you're always doing things last minute, if you find yourself always stressing out at the deadline, then this video is for you. Now, I went through this experience. When I was just out of college, I became a mortgage broker. No, not the evil kind. I think I was doing some good work. But what I found is that I was always closing my deals, basically, dealing with the paperwork, dealing with the bank at the last minute. Now, to me, this was kind of fun. It was exciting, right? Sometimes there were issues with a client come up. I'd have to call the bank, call in a favor, do all this stuff. It was cool to me. It was exciting. My boss and my clients did not think so. For my boss, I was causing unnecessary stress for him and the clients were really unsure of what was going on sometimes. They're wondering, why are you calling me a day before the mortgage is supposed to close to get this document when, I figured all the paperwork would be in order weeks ago or months ago. And so this is obviously a problem, right, in this kind of context. And it was at the same time that I went down to San Diego to do some coaching training with Tony Robbins and learned about human needs psychology. And one of the things that struck me right away is that I had a need for excitement, for uncertainty, and I was not meeting that. So in human needs psychology, there's basically 6 needs that we all need to meet on some level. 4 are essential. These 4 needs, if we are not meeting them, we are not living, and we basically will do whatever we need to, unconsciously and consciously, to meet these needs. The other 2 are about fulfillment and kind of having a more satisfying life. And so the 4 basic needs are certainty. We need some level of consistency or certainty in our lives, and this makes sense, right? Food, shelter. If you're always stressed or always worried, that's not good. The second, ironically, is uncertainty, is inconsistency, is basically having some excitement in our lives. And for some of us, this is very little. This is trying a different beer once a month. For others, it means cliff diving, skydiving, doing crazy stuff to meet that need, right? It's different for everyone. The third need is significance, feeling special, feeling unique. We all have this, and we're seeing it so obviously now in the Instagram generation. And fourth is the need for connection. And that can be love, that can be relationships in some way or another, but it's the need for human connection. And I'll talk about this more in other videos, but as it relates to this specific issue of doing things last minute, of creating chaos in your life, it's the need for inconsistency, for variety, for excitement that usually does it here. And so I came to this conclusion basically when I studied this area of psychology, and I realized, hey, this is why I am doing this. And so I started adding some excitement to my life. I went skydiving. I did some crazy ATVing through Mexico, through the Baja. I got my motorcycle license, started riding motorcycles, all this kind of stuff. And you know what I found? Is my business life totally calm. Things were easy, things went steady because I was meeting that need for excitement in a much healthier way. I was getting it out of my system, if you will, and not having it sabotage my life. And this is really important. So this is the first thing. If you're someone who's doing things last minute all the time, ask yourself, why might I be doing this? And when you do this, you have to come from the perspective that you're in control. A lot of people like to just deny that they're influencing their own behavior, right? You can't do that. That's not going to get you anywhere. You have to first acknowledge, I'm in control. I'm the one doing this on some level. So taking that into account, acknowledging that I'm doing this, why might I be doing it? What unconscious need might I be meeting through this behavior? So that's the first thing. Acknowledge if that's you. Now the second thing is, if you only confine yourself doing work at deadlines, you might want to ask yourself about the kind of work you're doing. If the only way you'll do it is from external pressure, then you might want to look at changing what you're doing, right? Is finding work that you find more enjoyable, more fulfilling. I mean, we all need deadlines to some extent. We all need external pressure on some level. Authors generally love to write, but they still usually submit their books at the deadline. So I'm not saying if you need deadlines that your work is terrible or you're not doing what you should, but maybe there is something there where if you can only get work done at a deadline, if you can only get it done when there's stress and pressure, then maybe you want to think about changing careers or changing studies or whatever it is, and finding something where you actually enjoy the work. The actual process of doing things is fulfilling enough that you'll get at least some of it done in advance. You don't always need a deadline to get stuff done. So those are my 2 takeaways on this topic. I'll probably talk about this more because it's something that I've dealt with a lot myself. The first thing is, again, reevaluating your life, looking at what it is that you're getting out of this chaos, what it's giving you. Maybe it's actually not just giving you uncertainty and excitement, but maybe it's also giving you connection, right? When there's chaos, then you have to call other people, connect with people, call in favors, and that's adding another human need in there. So figure out what you're getting out of this behavior and try to find healthier ways to meet that need. And the second thing is just think about the actual activities, and maybe they're just really boring or they're things you don't enjoy, and that's why you always do it last minute. And so you should really consider changing what you're doing on some level or another. Either way, hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in another one. If you've enjoyed this, do subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in another one. Thanks for watching.